Hello people, how y'all doing? I've been in the shape of the earth presentation of proofs and whatnot for well over 6 years now. And in that time, I have never once
managed to understand a single damn thing. I've been creating debunk videos for about 2.25 years, and it's great fun. I like to apply some gentle humour and occasionally some science.
Who are you who are so wise in the ways of science?
Mr. Sensible, King of Cheese.
My liege.
There are certain things in this life that are generally frowned upon. Things like pushing over small children so you can steal their ice creams. Things like stamping on snails for the hell of it. Things like making response videos to NREM. Now, some people may think that my video about the guy who thought that cars driving northwards should use more fuel than those driving south because they're going uphill is scraping the bottom of a barrel. In this case, we're not scraping the bottom of the barrel. We've scraped our way through the bottom of the barrel, and we're now at depth approximately of the Kohler super deep borehole. I quite freely admit that for myself, like many other people, maths is not my strong point. However, today NREM is going to use flurfomatics in order to support his theory. I think you better take it away, NREM.
Roll VT.
Anyway, it's going back and forth. He's using the metric system, and I'm using the American Standard System.
I think you'll find that that's called the imperial system. It was invented by the British, and units of measure are going to become quite important in this video.
And first of all, I build this chart here.
NREM, I can see that you're using some professional level, highly technical software in order to do your calculations. I just got this.
Using just the American Standard System over here of miles, feet, and inches per radius of the Earth.
Miles, feet, and inches per radius of the Earth.
And then I decide I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the metric system to deal with his numbers too, and so I write the metric numbers over here.
I think I've spotted an initial problem with your mathematical evidence, NREM. You're trying to use numbers.
And so I come here and I see that the distribution of land has changed, yada yada, that's your opinion. And the northern half of Earth includes islands. It is estimated 68% of Earth's land exists in the northern hemisphere, while 32% is located in the southern hemisphere.
Okay, you're gathering some initial data. Carry on.
Then I decided I was going to take this one step further and see where the population goes. And so I came here to geosumnus.com. Humanity in your hemisphere, the northern hemisphere, is home to 90% of Earth's total population.
I think it only fair to point out that it's no great surprise that most people tend to live where the land is.
And I went ahead and grabbed all of the different land masses by cubic foot pertaining to sand,
Unicorns,
gravel,
cheese,
clay,
5th place school sports day egg and spoon race competitors,
and soil, both wet and dry, and averaged the pounds of 87.5 pounds per unit of land.
Here fun with units begins. Okay, NREM, we'll go with your figures. 87.5 pounds per unit of land.
And I did the same thing, 1 cubic foot of salt water since 99% of the water on Earth is ocean water and salted, so I didn't even bother using the fresh water. And it is 62.5 pounds per cubic foot.
Again, without looking, I have no idea if that's right, but we'll go with your figures, Inrem.
And then I went so far as to look at the body mass per cubic foot is 63.1 pounds.
Body mass of a cubic foot of person. Have you been chopping people up into little cubes to get those figures?
So you take these are just 1 unit, mind you, 1 unit of measurement per weight.
1 unit of measurement per weight. I've got a feeling that this may be outside of my field of expertise. You know all about weight. Can you tell me what a unit of measurement per weight is?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know anything about that. But I do know I love fluffy little kittens.
Thanks. Carry on, Inrem.
So in the northern hemisphere, you take this is 1 unit of measurement, mind you. You take your 68 and you multiply that by 87.5, the average of the land per unit, 1 cubic foot, and you end up with 37,573.5 units of measurement.
Well, Inrem, using my 25-year-old calculator, I seem to find that 68% of 87.5 is 59.5 and not 37,500. I think we may be seeing some errors start to slip in here. But as I said, I'm no expert in maths, so we'll stick with your figures. 37,500 units of measurement.
You do the same in the southern hemisphere with 32% of the land times 87.5, and you equal out to have 2,800.
32% times 87.5. This thing's defective.
2,800 units of measurement.
Well, I suppose at least you're being consistent. Our unit of measurement is a unit of measurement.
So you take your water, your saltwater oceans, and at 68% in the southern hemisphere times the weight of salt water per cubic foot of 62.5, and that's 4,250 pounds per unit of measurement.
Hold on, Inrem. It was units of measurement. Now it's pounds per unit of measurement.
You do the same with the water in the northern hemisphere, 32% of the water times 62.5 pounds per unit of measurement, and you end up with 2,000 pounds per unit of measurement in the northern hemisphere.
Okay, so it's units of measurement for land, but for water it's pounds per unit of measurement. I can't wait to find out what it is for the people.
And you take your population of 90% and multiply that by the body mass per cubic foot of 63.1 pounds, and you end up with 5,679.
I do wish you would show us your working, because I'd love to know how 90% of 63.1 is 5,679.
And you end up with 5,679 pounds of body mass per unit of weight.
Yes, I'd like to book some remedial tuition for myself. Yeah. Well, I'd like to start by learning what pounds of body mass per unit of weight is, if you could teach me.
And you do the 10% in the southern hemisphere with the cubic weight of body mass of 63.1, and you end up with 631.
Got that one. Pounds of body mass per unit of weight.
And you end up with 5,679 cubic feet per weight unit.
I despair. I don't think I'm ever going to grasp this new science.
And when you add these three here of the weight combined to the northern hemisphere, you end up with 45,216.5 units of weight.
Well, at this point, I think I'm going to just have to trust you and see where this leads.
And when you add these together in the southern hemisphere, you end up with 7,681 units of weight.
Okay, Inrem, so what does this mean?
So the northern hemisphere has over 6 times the unit weight as the southern hemisphere.
Okay, so you have gathered your data, you've carried out complex mathematics on it. So what is the conclusion that you have now reached, Inrem?
So I ask you, everyone, why is not Australia in the northern hemisphere by logical reason and observable fact on weight settles to the lower of a ball no matter what? I challenge any one of you sphere idiots to go ahead and prove me wrong.
A challenge? Well, I'm sure, Inrem, that a sphere idiot will be along to try and tackle your challenge as soon as they've picked themselves off the floor from laughing.
Like I said, I haven't heard anybody address this in the over 6 years I've been involved with this.
Yeah, can't think why, Inrem. I guess we must all be just avoiding this slam dunk evidence.
Anyway, I regress. You guys all have a good day and let me know what you think. And be well.
Well, you continue regressing, Inrem. It was quite difficult for me to do this video. Have a look at this. Unfortunately, in today's video, there is no science to try and deal with at all. Scraping the bottom of a barrel is pretty much generally frowned upon, but that's okay because this isn't scraping the bottom of the. But that's okay because this isn't scraping the bottle. But that's okay because this isn't scraping the bottle. But now, until next time, my friends, stay sensible.
Shut up and sit down.